Hi, so it's Tanea here, and maybe you're curious a little bit about what it's like to teach at a boarding school. I teach at a boarding school in the United States, and I have been doing so for, let me see. This is my officially fourth full year teaching at a boarding school, but this is my third boarding school that I've worked at. And I have been teaching for 20 plus years. I am a science teacher. Um, Let me just give you a little bit about like what my weekend's going to be like this weekend. This weekend I have duty. It's not too bad. Today's Saturday. Um, but on Sunday I have duty, so I have some responsibilities. I have to go to the dorm. I got to check students in. I might have to get up in the morning and like run some trips for kids and so on. Um, Maybe there could be like a trip to Walmart or a trip to like the mall or a trip to the church or things like that. Um, so Sunday might be a little bit of a longer day for me, but I don't have duty every single weekend. I have duty about once a week. I mean, once every 8 days. And then on a weekday, duty is only in the evening time. And I'm basically responsible for helping kids out, like making sure they do their chores in the dorm, they check in on time, and they get into their room for lights out. And I'm a teacher, so I enjoy being around kids. So that's not a big deal for me. I like being in the dorm. Some kids are not good at doing their chores, but like I'm a slob in my own house, so I really can't blame them too much, right? So it's not anything too like unusual to have to get on the kid's butt about doing something. You might want to know what it's like to work at a boarding school. But before I worked in a boarding school, I worked internationally. I absolutely love the benefits of working internationally. When I worked internationally, I had free housing. I had free flight benefits, meaning that I got like how many thousands of extra dollars? I think it was, I don't know, almost, gosh, I can't remember what it was, but it was several thousands of dollars extra that I got every year, so that I had money to fly back and forth to America so many times a year. And so every summer, at least, we would fly back and spend the summer in America because I had the funds to do so. Free housing, I had free lunch at work. Um, my kids had free tuition at the international schools that I worked at, and those were like top international schools. So my kids had a wonderful um, experience in terms of their academic upbringing. Um, the housing was wonderful. We had, I got paid really well, at least for a teacher. For a teacher, I was paid well. I felt like I could take care of all of my needs, take care of my entire family off my salary, afford to like go on vacation, afford to fly back and forth and spend the entire summer in America, like in a timeshare for like 6 weeks, um, and not be super stressed out. And that was with my husband either working part time um, or either in the beginning he didn't have a job internationally. So, and we were doing fine. I worked in Thailand initially, and then I worked in Shanghai after that. So I loved living in Asia. But then we decided to come back to the States, and so I thought boarding school that's the next best thing to living internationally and having all those perks. Because boarding school, you also can get free housing, and in a boarding school, you also can get free food because you're living on campus, and you also can get free tuition for your kids, and they can be in a really great academic setting. Um, they can basically make good friends, and there are some perks. So right now, I'm living in a rural area, and I was living in the dorm last year, and the dorm, like I like living in a dorm. There was a dorm I lived in previously before coming to this school, and the dorm was huge. Like we had a huge apartment, and it was absolutely adorable. The dorm I have here, the dorm I lived in here, it wasn't quite um, great for my family size, because my older son is 19 and my younger son is um, he's just going on he just turned 14, and then we had a dog, and we have a bunch of cars, and anyway, so we just this year moved into a house on campus, and so it's a lot better for us living in a house on campus, but I still do live on campus, and so I still have residential responsibilities. So you want to see what my house looks like? I'm actually standing in my yard right now. So I'll just do a pan around real quick. You can see how rural it is. Actually, I feel like I live in a forest. It's kind of scary. Okay, here is my yard. You see all the trees? This is my yard. There's my house. Okay, and that's just the front. Like literally, I'm gonna show you the back of my yard. I hope I don't step on any holes with like yellow jackets in them or anything. Oh, there's wasps and all kinds of things out here. That's the propane tank. We have to get that thing filled up every so often. This house is actually like on granite or something. Um, this, all of this back here, all of this back here, all of that you can see. There's like an old shed back there. There's like chicken coop, but like all of that is our yard. There's even a zip line back there, like way back there, that somebody had put for their kids when they lived back here a long time ago. And if you keep walking all the way back there, there's like a creek back there. And then I think you can get to the creek down here this way too. And then on the other side is farmland. And I think someone told me there's a bunch of these are walnut trees back here. So I'll have to see what happens when they come in again. But yeah, this is my house. My kids have the upstairs, the entire upstairs, so it's a mess up there. Um, so I really like working in a boarding school. Um, I wish I had discovered this when my kids were younger, because I get to be on campus and I get to see my kids during the day. Sometimes I get to even eat lunch with my kids. I know the people who teach my kids. I know them. I can talk with them. Um, it could be awkward sometimes, I guess, if you gotta, be friends with your kid's teacher. But I think there's more perks than there are drawbacks. So if you are an educator out there and you are feeling, I don't know, a little down about how things are right now, and you just need a change, and you don't really know what to do, but you want to stay in education, I think just keep in mind that, like, you don't have to stop being in the field of education. There are a lot of options for you to still keep doing what you love, and just find like a new niche within that field. So you can always travel abroad and work internationally. And there are a lot of amazing international schools that provide a lot of opportunities and a lifestyle change that you might not have in America. And then there are also um, boarding schools and private day schools that you can work at. And then not all public schools are made equally as well. So I would say kind of do your due diligence of like looking around. And then when you are a passionate, um, dedicated teacher, and you, I don't know, sometimes there's a way when you're in a classroom and you are really doing what you love and you put your energy into the classroom, even when there's a lot of challenges. Like a lot of times the students can feel what you're doing, and they know what you're doing, and they know that your heart is there, and it sometimes makes that room within the institution can be a special place, even if the institution itself can be a challenging place. So I hope that all you educators out there are doing okay. Um, I'm gonna continue to come back on here and talk about what my daily life is like as a person who works at a boarding school, and I hope you all will come join me. I will share little tidbits here and there as I can, or share the little ups and downs, because there are ups and downs no matter where you are. And I hope that you other educators out there will come join me, ask me questions. Um, I also I love actually, I love leading workshops in biology. I present workshops, usually at conferences or over the summer. And I have done some like educational consulting where I've flown off to to an international school and done some consulting like that. So that's something I might do more of in the future. Um, and now that I'm older and I'm a more experienced educator, I also think about how I will transition um, when I want to have more time, more of my time, because I literally, all I do is work. And I'm literally, I can't escape my job now because I'm literally living at my job. Um, I'm at work 24/7. So my sons have to call me up and say, "Mom, are you coming to dinner? Mom, where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in my classroom." We're like, "Where do you think I am?" They're like, "Hurry up and come on, come to dinner. You're taking too long." So I have a tendency to. Um, it's really hard when you live at work. It can be hard for me personally to like draw that line, um, and separate my personal life from my work life. But my husband works here too. And like I said, my younger son is going to school here right now, and so I it works for me. It works for me, and I wish, like I said, I had known about this earlier. Um, but I do think about when I get like I'm 50 right now. I do think about when I get older and I want to be able to spend time with my grandchildren, or I don't have the same amount of energy. How am I going to make sure that I'm caring for myself and that I'm also still doing the things that I'm passionate about? And so I will talk to you a little bit about how I will take the skill set that I have and then use that to my advantage, so that I still can be me and do the things that I love, but also have an income coming in. Um, and then I'll talk to you about how what my husband loves too, and how he will take the skill set that he has and the things that he loves, and now how he's going to make sure that he has extra income coming in always. Um, we are like the king and queen of side hustles. We, well, we're poor. We're teachers, right? So I don't know a teacher who doesn't have a side hustle. So if you like talking side hustles, then you should talk to us. But that's not what this is about. This space right here is for me to talk about education. Um, so, anyways, my school, this particular school, there's lots and lots of housing on campus. So a lot of the educators here live on campus. I'm not the unusual one. I'm normal. This is nothing. Me having a house on campus is not unusual. A lot of the teachers have housing on campus. There are people who live off campus, and the people who live off campus, they do not have residential duty. So that's a perk, but they also, if they are a teacher, maybe they have to teach more classes as an exchange. So, you know, everybody kind of has their things that they prefer. Some people prefer living off campus, and some people prefer living on campus. Some boarding schools do it like differently, like where some teachers might work part time, like they're not quite full time, and so they don't have residential responsibilities because they're not quite full time. They live off campus, they're not quite full time. Um, and so some people enjoy that because then they don't have to worry about residential responsibilities. Some boarding schools, even if you live off campus, you still have dorm duty, um, because that's just a responsibility of everybody on the campus. So it really depends on the boarding school that you're at. Um, and in addition to teaching my classes, well, I'm actually the department chair, so I only teach 3 classes, but other people teach more classes. But in addition to teaching classes, I also have students that I advise. So I have my advising group, I have my clubs, Um, I have to like go into other people's classes and observe them. I have department chair meetings. I have like other teachers that I try to mentor and try to work with, etc., etc., etc. So my day is super busy. Um, there's no shortage of work to do. I'm always trying to like write grants and bring money in for the department. Um, yeah. So, but anyways, I would love to show you my campus maybe next time. Show you a little bit about what the campus looks like. It's so beautiful. And if you have any questions, uh, if you're interested in working internationally and you want to know what company can help you get started with that, let me know and I can shoot that down in the comments. Because I started out with Search Associates, but there's also a few other companies that could get you started. Um, yeah, so have a wonderful Saturday. It was wonderful talking to you guys, and I can't wait to come back and show you a little bit about my campus and what my daily life is like. I look forward to talking to you again. Hey, if you want to see more of this and learn a little bit more about my life working in a boarding school and maybe some of my teaching strategies as a life science educator, then please hit that subscribe button. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the video, huh? Well, I'm new at this, so that's it. Anyways, bye.